Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well. Recently, I did a poll or a survey, whatever you want to call it, on Facebook, and I was asking people, what are the three things that you want most out of life? And one of the answers was self-worth, and that's what I talked about last week. And this week, I'm going to talk about one of the most common answers, and it's kind of what I expected it to be, and that is love. And yeah, it is Valentine's Day, but that's kind of why I plan to do it today, because I want to use Valentine's Day as an example, both good and bad. And I want to try to figure out what is wrong with society's love. I want to share about what I think love is and how we use it improperly, how we take it and skew it and twist it to mean what we want instead of what it really is. And I think it's a very powerful thing. Love is a very powerful thing. It's the greatest gift that you can give someone. So that's why I take love rather seriously. I don't like to say it very often. I don't like to just blurt out the word all the time. I say it whenever I mean it, and it is something that I don't overuse. I don't like overusing it because I feel that it loses meaning. We become accustomed to saying it without truly meaning it. It kind of becomes whenever you see someone, you say, "Hi, how are you?" and you ask it, but as you're walking past them, you say it, you ask it. You don't really mean it. Like, what would happen if you said, "Hi, how are you?" You're walking past someone and they say, "Oh, I'm terrible." Would you even know that they said it? Would you stop? So it kind of becomes that sometimes, and I want to get away from that. I want to get back to the foundation of love, what it means, where it comes from, and what I think we need to do different to search for love, to find the love that we need, to obtain the love that we want. And I want to talk about society's love. Yes, Valentine's Day. It's the love holiday. It's a man-made holiday. It is the Hallmark holiday. It is something that is celebrated worldwide. It is celebrated in Cambodia. But I read an article today that was kind of troubling to me, and that in Cambodia, Valentine's Day is actually the most dangerous holiday, and that is because of the percentage of rape. Cambodia has a very high rape percentage already, and on Valentine's Day it becomes even greater. And I read the article and it said two-thirds of all men. They did an interview of about 750 people, and it said two-thirds of all men are willing to force themselves upon their partner or a female. And part of that two-thirds was they admitted that they were willing to buy expensive things or buy gifts in order to receive a gift back, the girl's gift. And to me, that's disturbing. And I think that's what Valentine's Day sometimes has become. We use it, or men use it. We buy gifts, we buy flowers, chocolates, diamonds, all these different gifts in order to receive something. We want something back. And it's pretty obvious what we want. We're guys. All guys, at some point in their life, want the same thing. And it's not a good thing. That's not what it should be about. And I want to get into that. I feel that love, yes, it is about buying gifts. It is about giving to the person you love or the people that you love, being your friends, gifts. It's about sharing love with them. I believe that that's a very good thing. That's a very powerful thing. But what I also believe is that you're not meant to give love in order to receive something back, in order to receive love back. That's not what it's about. Love is, yes, sacrificial. We sacrifice time, we sacrifice money, we sacrifice things that we might want to do in order to put someone else ahead of ourselves, but that's what we're supposed to do, not because we want something back. you know, and that is one thing I think that Valentine's Day it does. I'm not saying for everybody. I'm not generalizing. I'm saying from things that I've read, I've seen, I've experienced, I've talked to people about it. That just seems to be one of the ways that Valentine's Day is skewed. And I believe that that's in all of society. I believe if you watch TV, if you watch reality TV, sex, drugs, rock and roll. People go on TV to find love. They go on these reality TV shows. You have TV shows where people go on and all they do is party. They drink, they party, they take girls home, and it's acceptable. It's something that becomes part of the culture. It becomes glorified in the culture, and I think and that's wrong. That's not something that we should be proud of as a culture. That's not something that we should be proud of as a person. It's almost like whenever I do something wrong or something like that, I feel extremely guilty. I feel terrible on the inside because I'm not doing what is right. Because whenever you do something like that, whenever you involve other people, you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting the other person, and you most of the time hurt the other person more than you hurt yourself. And that's what hurts me the most, whenever I hurt other people, and that's what I try my best not to do. I think that we want easy love. We always want love that is in a movie, in a fairy tale movie. We want everyone to be happy all the time, get along all the time. do exactly what we want when we tell them. Girls want to change boys into what they want them to be, which I always think is funny because if you want to change someone, then why date them in the first place? It doesn't make sense. You must not have liked who they originally were because you want to change them. But it's the same for boys and girls or whatever you want to call it. But it's something that we want. We always want happiness. Well, life's not always happy. Life's not always full of joy. Life is full of sadness. It is full of hate. It is full of anger. It is full of negative things. The trick is, do you love the person enough to go through all of that with them? If so, then yes, you love them. But if you're willing to quit whenever tribulations come across, then you must not love them that much because love is pain. Love is agony. In Luke 22, Jesus is on a Mount of Olives. He's praying for what he has to do, which is die on the cross. He's in so much agony and so much pain that his sweat is dripping like blood. I've never been in that much agony. I pray and I hope that I'm never in that much agony, but that must be some serious pain. That's the pain that he was in before he actually endured the physical pain of the beating, of the whipping, of the being beat up, carrying a cross, hung on the cross, nailed on the cross, and the crown on his head. He was in that much pain that he was sweating blood, that before he endured all that, he was in pure agony. And sometimes we put other people in our lives ahead of ourselves because of love, and it causes us pain. We hide that pain, we conceal it, but we do it to love other people, and that's what we have to do. We have to love someone enough to be willing to sacrifice ourselves for them. Men are called to love their wives, their spouses, as the church, as Jesus loved the church. How did Jesus love the church? He died for the church. Women are supposed to submit to their husbands, not in every way, but in the way that is going to lead them to God, to lead them to a better life, not lead them astray, not lead them down these dark paths, but to lead them in a positive light, in a way that is able to teach them about faith, that is going to teach them to grow closer to God. That's how men are supposed to lead women. That's what it means for a wife to submit to a husband, and that's what it means for a man to sacrifice for his wife. You're supposed to be willing to sacrifice your life to make your wife's life better, or your boyfriend or girlfriend's life better. That's what it comes down to. Are you willing to do that? If the answer is no, if the answer is I'm not sure, then keep working on it. That doesn't mean you don't love them. It means you have to keep working on love. Love is a constant thing that we have to pursue. It grows greater and greater and greater. There's no limitations of love. There's no end to how much you love someone. You just have to continue to grow and continue to love, or continue to grow and learn about what love is and how to love them. You know, we grow older, we get smarter, we get more mature. As you grow older and grow more mature, your love will grow older and more mature, more knowledgeable, and more passionate, and more deep, and more pure. So I think that is the meaning of love. For you to find the meaning of love in life, you need to find God. You need to find the creator of love. Why did God create Why did God create earth? Because he loved us. He wants a relationship with us, and that relationship spawns love. You know, you love your best friend, you love your girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance, husband, whatever, you love your family. That all starts because God first loved us. So we have to love like God, to love others, so they know what love is. If you love according to society, if you love according to sex, drugs, and alcohol, if you love according to Valentine's Day, where you buy a girl a gift or you buy a boy a gift and hoping that you get something in return, if you're disappointed that you don't get a material gift, I feel that is wrong, because you should want the gift of love. You should want the gift of the person, of what they mean to you, on how they treat you, and what they do for you to make you a better person. Yes, we all like gifts, that's a fact. People will give you gifts. But if they give you a gift in order to give something back, it's really not that great of a gift. So this Valentine's Day, I hope that we give the true meaning of love, we give the true gift of love, and I hope that you can learn what love really means. Because if you know what love really means, you can search for it in life, you can find it, and then you'll be able to obtain it and then continue to grow. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the love chapter, it's patient, it's kind, it's not jealous, does not have pride. You know, it's in the Bible. The Bible is the greatest love story of all time. One man sent his son to save the world. He lived a perfect life. He took all of our shame, all of our sin up onto the cross with him. That's how much he loved us. If you want to know what love is, if you want to find out what love is and have a life filled with love, read the Bible, read the Gospels, learn the Gospels, learn how to love like Jesus first loved us and how God first loved us. Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope that you learned something from this. God bless, and I will see you soon.